Hello and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I'm Casey, and today this is the necklace and earring set that I will be making, and I am so excited. I love the way that this came out. Most of the components for this necklace and earring set came from Sam's Bead Box for the month of June 2022, and I couldn't let the month go by without using those ladybugs. They're just really a lot of fun, and I really did like them. So of course I had to use them, and along with those pretty awesome pressed flowers, the red and yellow kind of mixture pressed flowers, I just think they're so pretty. And then tying it together with the earrings and those drop beads, I just love the way that this came out. So if you would like to see how this necklace and earring set came about, then stay tuned. So we're gonna get right into it, and I'm gonna start with the tools that I will be using for this project. And I will be using 2 sets of chain nose pliers, my set of cutters, my set of round nose pliers, and my set of crimping pliers. And I want to mention my tool set. I highly recommend this tool set. It is very high quality, very well made. But one of the big things for me is that it has adult size grips. And as often as I make jewelry, having tools that are comfortable as well as highly functional, it just makes a big difference to me. So this tool set is called the Casual Comfort tool set. And I will have it linked down below, but even if you don't get this tool set, I highly recommend investing in your tools. It can definitely make a really big difference. For this necklace, it's going to have kind of a waterfall effect in the front of it. I'm going to use some of the fun beads that came in Sam's Bead Box this month. We're going to be using several of these ladybug beads, and we're also going to be using these red and yellow flowers, the whole set. These rondelles that came in the bead box, they're very much a mixture of red and yellow and orange. From my own stash, we'll be using these 4mm pearls. Also from the bead box, these yellow rondelles. And again, from my own stash, I'll be using all the findings, jump rings, crimp covers, wire guardians, crimp tubes, and different size jump rings, which is why I have them separated. Also, these 3mm spacer beads, these flower-shaped bead caps, and these spacer beads, kind of round, flat beads, came in the bead box. To get started, we are going to create each one of the dangles that come off of the front of the necklace, and then we're going to create the kind of bottom part that they're all going to hang off of. And then once we create that, we connect it to the chain. Okay, so for the dangle, we're going to have several different beads that are going to have a loop in between them, and then we're going to connect them by these smaller jump rings. So we're going to start with the red and yellow flower and an eye pin. I'm going to put that eye pin straight through it. When I'm using eye pins, I like for the loops to be facing the same direction. So I'm going to go just above the top of that bead, bend it back with my fingers. Of course, I'm using my round nose pliers. And then I'm going to go in with my cutters. Then I'm going to go back in with my round nose pliers and close that loop. And then if it ever happens like that where you make the loop and it's facing a different direction, even if you're trying, all you have to do is grab one loop with one set of chain nose pliers and the other loop with the other set, and then just have them go the same way, just like that. All right, So here is the first connector, and we're going to do that with a butterfly, with the yellow drop, and with one of the rondelles. So we're going to make that same connector piece with the loop on either side with these three, and we'll meet back up. All right, so we have the connector for the ladybug, the flower, and the one yellow faceted bead. I wanted to cut back in and show you guys how I'm going to do the rondelle. I'm going to use one bead cap facing up, bead cap facing down, and then do the same thing. All right, so now we have our 4 connector pieces. We're going to connect them with very thin 6mm jump rings. So we're going to start with the flower and connect it to the ladybug. And I want the ladybug to be facing down, so I want to connect it to the back end of the ladybug and close that jump ring. And then the front side of the ladybug will be connected to the rondelle with the bead caps. And then from the rondelle, we're going to go with the yellow faceted bead. And then at the end, I'm going to end each strand with a charm. And these charms actually came from the Spring Splendor treasure bag from GGC Beginning Beaders. And this is, I had several of them left over, and I just thought they were really cute and would look really good at the end of each one of these. So from the other side of that yellow bead, I am now going to connect the little heart. All right, so there is one, and this is actually going to be the center strand. So the next 2 strands are going to be made the same way, the exact same way, just without that rondelle in them, the 2 that go on either side. So flower, ladybug, and the yellow bead with the yellow faceted bead with the charm. And here we go. So these are going to be the next 2. And of course, without that rondelle, they're both going to hang 1 bead shorter. And then the 2 on the outside are going to be the shortest, and they're going to be created the exact same way. It's just going to be flower and then straight to the yellow bead. So flower, yellow, and then the heart charms. And there you go. And of course, these will be hanging even shorter. All right, so here is the design for the front part of the necklace as far as the part that's hanging off of it. So now I'm gonna create the part of the necklace on the wire that we will be connecting these to. So I'm going to be using 49 strand bead along wire, and I always get the 100 feet in the color Bright, which is this silver color. So I'm going to take the end of that strand, put on a crimp tube, a jump ring, and a guardian wire. You put it through one side and then wrap it around and put it through the other. You want to make sure that jump ring goes up inside that guardian wire like that. And then you want to make sure that both ends of the wire are going through that crimp tube. And I'm going to pinch that guardian wire closed with my fingers. And I want to pull on the longer piece just to get not quite as long of a tail. I'm going to use my fingers to separate that wire. I'm going to pull on the longer piece so it's nice and snug. And I'm going to go in there with my crimping pliers and go into that second divot, smash it, give it that taco shape, go in that front divot give it another smash. And that usually gets it pretty good, but I like to go in with that flat part at the end. Give it that final smash so it gets it nice and tight. I'm gonna hang on to that jump ring. I'm gonna take that crimp cover, put it over that smashed crimp tube, and flip it up. I'm gonna go in there with my chain nose pliers, give it a gentle smash, and then I'm gonna go front to back, give it that round shape. All right, and that's how I start the strand. All right, so now the order of the beads is going to start with a 4mm pearl, red spacer, and then it's going to be bead cap up, rondelle, bead cap down, and then down here you're going to make sure all that tail goes in, gets tucked in the beads. All right, so there you go. That tail is now tucked in. And now I'm going to do the spacer and pearl. Okay, now this is going to be the pattern in between each dangle. So you're going to have this order right here, and then one of the dangles hanging off. And then you're going to do this pattern again, and then put the next dangle. And then of course that is the order. All right, so we will meet back up once all of them are on. So you're going to do this order of beads, then add a dangle. All right, so I want to jump back in here just so I can show. You do want to have those two pearls side by side on each connector in between, with that dangle in between the two pearls, just like that. Okay, so I pulled the zoom in just a little bit. Here are all 5 of the strands, the kind of dangling strands, how they are supposed to hang off of the main strand. So we have it started, and now we're going to close it off over here on this end. Zoom it back out just a little bit. So we're going to have a crimp tube, a jump ring, and a wire guardian. Put it through one side, wrap it around, put it through the other. All right, you want to make sure that jump ring goes up into the guardian wire, and then both, I'm going to go ahead and cut off some of this length. Then both ends of the wire go through that crimp tube, and then you want that tail to go through the first couple of beads. I'm going to pinch that wire guardian closed with my fingers, and then I want to pull that tail kind of snug. You don't want it to be too snug though. You definitely still want it to be flexible. Then I'm going to go in there with my crimping pliers into that second groove. Give it a smash. Get that taco shape. On its side, you go into that first groove. And then I like to go in with that flat part at the end and give it a final smash. I'm going to take that crimp cover and put it right on top of that smashed crimp tube, and then flip it up. I'm going to go in there with my chain nose pliers and give it a gentle smash. Then I'm going to go front to back. Just like that. Then I'm going to take that tail Go in as close as I can with my cutters. Cut off that tail. And of course you want to go in there where that little bitty tail is and kind of shove it into the next bead. In this case, it's a bead cap, just like that. All right, so now here is that center piece, okay? And I'm going to create a connector. So I'm going to take an eye pin and I'm going to have that same pattern, but have it be not connected to that main part. So we're going to have a 4mm pearl, flat round, bead cap facing up, rondelle, bead cap facing down, flat round, and then pearl, just like that. So it matches that connecting, like each component in there. So now I'm going to create a loop. So I'm gonna go just above that top bead, bend it back with my fingers, go in with my cutters, go back in with my round nose pliers, and close that loop, just like that. All right, and then we need one more of these. So here we go. All right, so now it's just a matter of connecting all the pieces. All right, so with that jump ring that's on the end, I'm gonna go ahead and open that one, connect it to that component we just made, and then close that jump ring. Same thing on the other side. I'm gonna take another jump ring, open the jump ring, connect it to this end, and then connect it to the last link in that Rolo chain, just like that. Then close that jump ring. Now, on the other side of the chain, you need to put, of course, the other last link like that, and then a lobster clasp. Or of course you can pick any clasp of your choosing. Get another jump ring. Connect it to the other side. And close that jump ring. Then you can go ahead and close that. So here is the finished piece. So I'm gonna set this aside real quick so we can quickly put together the matching earrings. Here is the one earring that I already put together to match this necklace. So really quickly, I will put this together. So we're gonna make this component right here, and that's gonna be spacer, yellow faceted bead, spacer, butterfly bead facing down, spacer. All right, so there's the order. We're going to make a loop, go just above that top spacer bead, bend it back with my fingers, go in with your cutters, and then while you have that open, go ahead and put your ear wire on there, and then close that loop, just like that. And then I'm going to use the teardrop beads that came in the box, and I'm going to add it to the loop at the bottom. I put a jump ring through it, and then close that jump ring, and then take that second one, the red one, add that one to the bottom as well, side by side, close that jump ring. All right, so here are the earrings for this set, and now I'm gonna set everything up in my display so that we can see it better. So here is the final piece, and I am super happy with how it came out. I really love how this looks. I am a huge fan of those ladybugs. I just think they're just a lot of fun, and I like those flowers, those pressed flowers as well, with that red and yellow mixture of color. I really like that. I did make a couple modifications when I first put this on the display holder. I didn't like the way the two outside dangles were falling. So if you look just on the outside one here and on the outside one on this side as well, I added a jump ring. So just a 6mm jump ring on either side. The other three, the three in the middle, are the same. And I think that hangs a lot nicer. Before, I think because of the length of it, or I'm not really sure, but they were kind of sticking out to the side, and I think this looks so much nicer. I really like the way this looks. So I did make that modification. And with the chain, I don't know if I said it in the video. I might try to type it in. Each length of chain that I used was 4.5 inches long. So the total in chain is 9 inches, and the necklace total around is 18 inches, which I wanted it just to be a little bit on the smaller side. That way the dangles were kind of the main focus. And I really like these earrings. I think it just kind of ties it together really nicely. So if you like this video and you want to see other videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and give me a like, leave a comment. I absolutely love reading your comments. You guys are so kind. It is just a highlight of my day. It really is. And I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.